Então agora sou eu, as crianças, os bichos, a casa, durante tempo indeterminado.
A questão emocional ela começa a bater muito forte agora, porque principalmente em relação à gravidez, eu acabei de fazer 7 meses, várias coisas passam na nossa cabeça, assim, tipo, do quanto isso pode ser.
Whoa, this was a little bit of a time capsule, and it just made all the memories of COVID come flooding through, and remembering how difficult it was, but then also realizing that I never had the responsibility to look after other humans and keep them alive. Um, so I think it really captured without any injection from the director or from the creators. It really allowed the themes of resilience, of the struggles of motherhood, of putting yourself second, sometimes third, sometimes fourth, when it comes to keeping people alive and afloat and in good spirits. And it was so wonderful to see a variety of different scenarios, single moms, um, people with multiple children, people who are working as CEOs from all walks of life. So it really did feel like a very inviting cross section to see how we can be very different, but a lot of the themes, the prevailing ideas felt very similar. And I just really appreciate, yeah, the array of subjects and the honesty to which they shared. I think there was no filtering or artifice about it, which is lovely in this day and age, especially with the video bloggers and the lifestyle bloggers. This just felt like a breath of fresh air.
I really liked how it focused in on mothers and the roles they really play in having to take care and raise the kids, and now having to do it tenfold because they now have to be with their child 24/7 without the resources that a lot of them have. So that was definitely a very interesting take that I really, really loved to see, and it was very heartbreaking to see because a lot of the things that these families did have before, they didn't have access to anymore because of COVID. Um, one of the mothers that really spoke to me, I feel like, was the mother with the boy who had autism, in which she was basically explaining how because of the lack of resources and the change in routine that her son had gotten used to, he started to regress in the progress that he had made, and just kind of the fact that she feels like she couldn't really do anything about it because they were stuck. And she knows that the isolation is what's causing this, but she can't do anything about it. And it was truly heartbreaking. And just kind of seeing everyone's slow descent to madness is also very relatable, and I really liked that. I love the formatting of the like the vlogging style. I love the formatting of everyone having different interviews, and seeing how some people did have it easier than others in the sense that they were able to handle the pandemic a lot better than others. You know, at the end of the day, we all went very stir crazy, but some people are more capable of processing it, while others have a very hard time, obviously, being locked up at home for basically years. So that was very interesting to see. My favorite part was the end, where they had the basically the audioed love letters of the mothers reading messages to their kids. I thought that was beautiful. On top of just kind of the last beat of um, that conversation, in which it's a statement as to why it's called mothers and not fathers. That kind of brings up the whole point of, like, just because it's not directed to fathers does not mean that fathers don't play a major role in a child's life. They do, but a mother is different than a father in some regards. And I kind of just like how the only explanation was just that mothers are different. Being a mother is just different.
I really got a lot from this. I thought it was touching and sad and everything I went through during the pandemic, except I don't have kids or a husband. So it really made me feel nice when one of the mothers said that not everybody has a person. You know, some people are completely alone. So it was nice for her to bring that up. I wrote down so many different notes, but to me, like one of the ladies said, that we keep believing. I wish we don't lose that, like the belief and the hope and, just the moments and knowing that some of these women had autistic children, or, were battling postpartum depression or being pregnant during the whole thing, showed, it was probably much more difficult as well with that added layer to it. Showing, I think what I took a lot from this was two things: showing how much mothers put in at home and at work and with the kids. And not saying that some dads don't, but I think some don't appreciate what like I have a friend who's a stay-at-home mom, and it would be nice for her husband to sort of appreciate the work she's putting in more than he does. I think he thinks it's just a normal thing that she's like not working and it's a breeze for her. No, it's not. So I think that was one of the things that this shed light on. And also, just getting back to like the days when people did spend more time with their kids, not, just not constantly being on the phone or at work, but also being able to find a balance, because these mothers were rediscovering looking their kids in the eyes and actually having a better connection with their children. So I really like this a lot.
It was built around a group of mothers giving their personal testimony during the pandemic about how difficult it was to continue to parent, mothers in separate stages of motherhood, some already with children, some already pregnant, some fully working. So there was a lot of complexities in the issues. And I thought the piece did a really great job of letting the subjects tell their own story and letting them carry the piece in a way that felt very grounded, and it was very easy to empathize with the women in the piece and to empathize with the situation and understand that there were a lot of difficulties specific to each kind of person, and this group of people might not have gotten the limelight or the most recognition as to how difficult maintaining their role as a mother was during this time. I thought the piece did a strong job of sort of reflecting that in a way that gave them a sense of dignity and grace while they reflected their struggles trying to figure out difficult situations.
I love how this documentary shines a light on how it's a more remote style piece, because by allowing the mothers to send in their work from all over the world and cutting their stories together into creating one concise and engaging story, the music, the sound, everything that went into making this piece was really engaging and thought process. And I love how it felt very personal to the filmmaker, and it came across as very emotional as well.
Everyone has their lockdown story, but I think one of the things that's very relatable is if you went through lockdown with your family, and I think this documentary does a good job of encapsulating both the highs and the lows of lockdown with a family, because on one hand, you didn't have to deal with lockdown alone, but on the other hand, you were never alone. And so it led to many polarizing moments for a lot of people. And I think a lot of people can relate to the trials, the tribulations, the struggles that a lot of these mothers went through. If you weren't the mother, then you were the father. If you weren't the father, then you were the children. I feel like what's fascinating about a lot of COVID documentaries is it forces you to look back on your own situation and your own story, and it reminds you of what you had to go through during that time, which is crazy to think about, that this was a historical moment for everyone. Everyone had to deal with this, and everyone has a story to tell.
There's something about a mother, a mom, that I think is special and does have a special type of influence and a special type of impact on a person, just because there's a bond there from early life because of the nature of how people are born, and so I think that this explored that in a really, really beautiful way. I also think that as society, we have a lot of expectations placed on mothers, and the relationships that mothers have with their kids is a product of that as well. It's a product of the society. It's a product of the expectations placed around how to be a good mother. And so I think that this was, I mean, like I said, it was really, really beautiful and really, really heart-moving. And to, like I said, get all of these different experiences, get all of these different points of view, I think it's really, really lovely.